Hey guys, welcome to our Safe Space Sunday live stream. Today we're again being live. Please welcome all of our guests. We have today Rose, we have Worlet, we have Rayo, we have Galush, who will see. We will see his face in soon. He's just finding a right place, connection-wise, and so on. And we have Amit. We have me, Juliana, and we are so happy to have you all here. What can I say? I would like to say thank you so much first for joining us, for finding time on Sunday just before Christmas. It's a crazy time for everyone, but we guess that this is a really extremely important subject that we don't want to miss. We don't want to stop speaking about it, and we care about the community to feel good and safe. I would like to, from now, just as well thank Heidful, who is running the stream for us, and to all of our moderators who are in the comments. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for keeping the community and the conversation safe and good to go. I will describe it that way. Okay, so I would like to give a moment to just remind you guys in the chat. This conversation that we're continuing, let's call it that way. We want to create a safe environment, and please do not name or shame anyone in particular in the comments. Please, let's create a really good vibe in the comments. We don't speak about any names. We do not use names. We are not hate toward each other. So please be respectful in the comments. And let's start our conversation of the day. So I will give now a word. I think it will be the best that they introduce themselves. They know the best who they are, and they will know how to introduce themselves the best to the community. And I would like that you guys tell me who you are and what is your relationship to the beatbox community. And I would like to start with Rose.
Hello, I'm Rose. I've been a part of the beatbox community since 2016. I'm a core member of the BEATBOX Safe Space team. I'm here to talk.
So let's talk. Rayo, please introduce yourself.
I'm Rayo. I'm co-owner of LGBT Beatbox and a core team member of BEATBOX Safe Space, and I'm here to talk about positive change.
Cool. Warlet.
Hi everyone. First of all, I'm Warlet. I am a beatboxer from Brazil / Canada, kind of. And I am mostly involved in the battle scene of beatboxing, especially online. And I'm also a part of the team of BEATBOX Safe Space. And that's it.
Amazing. Galush, do you think you have right now space to introduce yourself to our audience? Or we wait? Maybe in
I do. Hey, everybody.
Oh, yes, good.
My name is Galu.
Oh, you're muted. You're muted. Come back to us. Go to the light.
Come back.
Okay, maybe in the meantime, Amit, remind people who you are.
Yeah, I'm Amit, also known as The Fool. I've been beatboxing for 12 years, teaching for about 7 years now. I am the education manager for Swissbeatbox. And so you would have seen our stuff lately for SBX Safe Space Sundays. And now we're working super close with Beatbox Safe Space to try to bring things forward to make our community better for everyone.
Amazing. Let's try again. Maybe this time we will do it. Galush, are you there? No, but he will be back to us. And don't worry, guys. Stay tuned. We will figure that out. I know that he's in travel, so we will wait. But in the meantime, we know who you are. We know that we all met here to make the community greater and better and a safer place for everyone. So I would like to maybe ask, what impacts are you working on towards in the community that you can maybe share with us and with the audience? Maybe I would like to ask first Rayo.
Oh, okay. um, I feel like big goal is like diversifying the community in all directions, like gender wise, like the whole spectrum, all countries, ideally, of course. And yeah, safety at events is an important topic that we talk a lot about, and community care. I mean, it's an essential part of hip hop in general, so I feel like that's like a very essential thing to center.
Okay, thank you. Rose, would you like to say what impacts are you working on towards in the community right now?
Very similar to Rayo, I want to make sure this is a safe space for everyone. You know, a lot of people get to come and have a good time at events, but not everyone has that experience. And honestly, we all deserve it. We're all here to relax and have a good time. And my goal right now with this community is to make sure that everybody can have that good time.
Amazing. Warlit?
I agree with both of them said. Bringing a different perspective, I would say it's mainly about not actually a very different perspective, of course, but more battle kind of aspect since it's what I'm mostly like present on. I think what I mainly want is for one day gender or any other thing that defines who you are to not matter in a battle. Like that's my main goal. It's like going to a battle and oh, you're a woman, you are a non-binary person, whatever. That doesn't matter because it's normal. It's normalized to have a lot of people from different identities.
Amazing, amazing. Amit, would you like to say a few words as well?
Sure. Well, my expertise is beatbox education, so I've been wanting to always educate beatboxers and potential beatboxers about the lovely art of beatbox. But now I'm just educating beatboxers about everything that I feel is important for our beatbox community. And so, therefore, safe space. This month we're talking about sexual harassment. In following months, we'll have other topics like racial discrimination, gender discrimination, ableism, etc., etc. There'll be lots more coming.
Amazing. I will try, and I strongly believe that we will get there. Galush, are you there? Okay. This is our second attempt. We have many more to come. We have many more to come. So let's try. Galush, we hope you're good. Just let us know that you're good, that everything is fine. We're worried about you. Okay, so just because we all know that the subject is really it's a serious subject. It's really intense, emotional. I would like though that maybe before we go into speaking about some specific how to call it elements of our today's stream, I would like to ask you to share one good and one bad memory to keep the balance. One good and one bad memory experience in the beatbox scene. We don't want to, just hear only good stuff because we know that there's, the balance in the community. So if you can, please share both good and a bad experience with us. Warlit.
Okay. I think one good experience I have is, of course, Beatbox Safe Space in general. Having this change, I'm in the scene for 2 years and a half, and Galush is here, and now he's muted. I'm just glad that he's back. Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. So of course, so this is something really new to me because I've been in the scene for 2 years and a half, and I never had a lot of minorities together talking about bad experiences that we had, and this is making me feel better about the things that I went through. And also, of course, there's a lot of guys in the community that I think make a change in their own way. Of course, there is the problem, but there's also people that are really nice, and especially my group of friends, for example, in PCIB. I think one of the most impactful things that happened to me is when I go through something as a girl in the community. They always have my back, and that's really important to me. And of course, bad experiences. I think it's easier to talk about in a sense, especially as a very feminine girl that is also very present in the battle scene. But I think mainly it's even more than just sexualizing. It's more about, for me, underestimating my ability and being attacked for doing something that anybody's capable of doing just because I have a certain appearance or a certain personality as a girl. Because I can be like an aggressive, powerful big boxer that practices every day to be what I am, and that being a girl that likes makeup too. You know what I mean? But for some reason, I'm super attacked for that, and I think that's one of my main bad experiences in the community.
Thanks for sharing. It's really, really important. And I think we can dig here in this matter too, because it's like a really, really something we could talk and talk about. What about you, Rayo? Your good and bad experience?
Okay, good experience. I think it's like I find it really great how the women and non-binary people and other minorities in this space instantly gravitate towards each other. So I'm really new to the community. I only joined this summer, and having like people come towards me and be like, "Hey, do you want to join this like WhatsApp chat with all these minorities and beatbox that keep each other safe and talk about problems in the scene?" And I mean, that's how like Beatbox Safe Space became the thing it is now, and it's the direction it's going in right now. So that's like my friends, like finding friends so fast in the scene is like, I think one of my favorite thing about it. Like being so interconnected, being able to talk to everyone and making friendships is like something that works like so fast here. And yeah, that's like that really helped me to like stay in the community, because there are of course also bad experiences. For example, I run LGBT Beatbox together with Everybox, and if you run an LGBT space like within a male dominated community, there will
Oh.
We have a
be
frozen
messages
Rayo.
like full of hate speech, like sending DMs and handling that. I know how to handle that, but like, no, no. Okay, am I
You're
back?
good
Am I
now.
back?
Yeah,
Please tell
yeah.
me I'm back.
You're
Okay,
back.
okay. But yeah, like we don't get the nicest DMs at the LGBT beatbox, for example. Like that's a really like bad experience, and I know like getting very creepy and invasive DMs is generally a problem for a lot of minorities in the community. So yeah, that's like something we need to we need to focus on as well in the future. But yeah, that was it.
Thank you. And we're happy that you joined the community. We really do. We're really happy. Rose.
Hello again. Okay. For me, like they mentioned, a really good thing is finding this group, this group of people that instantly we have a connection with and instantly have support with. More specific than that, I had a particular incident, or not really incident, but I was at the UK Champs, and it was after, and everybody kind of parted ways, and I was waiting for my friend, and it got down to I was by myself. I was by myself in the middle of the night in an alleyway, and one person, and I know we don't name names, but this is a good deed, so I'm going to mention one person stayed with me in the freezing cold till I found my friend, and that was Jean. I know we all love Jean.
Oh,
Jean. So that was like a really good experience because I was like pretty scared. I was by myself, and just having one person make sure that I was okay until I found my friend is an amazing thing. Wonderful experience, wonderful humanity. On the flip side, I've experienced online harassment, threats, and attacks. That's prevented me from going to a few events to avoid people. But there is the good side. So there is that support. So when stuff like that happens, you have somebody to kind of turn to. Love the community for that so much. Yes, Linda. Jean.
Yes, we see. It gets that we all love Jean. So we're sending love to Jean. Jean, if you're watching, we love you.
We love you, Jean.
I'm gonna try again. Galush.
Hey, I'm all set. I'm here.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes. So now you need to answer first. Introduce yourself because you didn't have a chance. Then and then we're gonna go with the next questions.
Sounds good. Yeah, so I'm Galush. I'm an artist, singer, looper, beatboxer, all that stuff. Been around the community quite a bit, but so much of what the beatbox community means to me, like how it shows up in my life, is absolutely the same as many other people here. Forming a lot of the most important relationships for me. So many of my friends and all that are found here. But I've also been using a lot of my time in my academic work to research and kind of develop a way of understanding the world through beatboxing. The way that it connects us socially, it connects us culturally, and researching and understanding those kind of backgrounds, I think, is a very important way that we can learn more about ourselves and how we work and why we do certain things the way that we do them. So that has been kind of what has drawn me into the community, as much as the music and the social connection. It's been getting the chance to dive in and learn more about the culture and kind of break it down from an insider's point of view. So we had just asked a question about some of the positive and negative experiences that we've had, or do you want to move on to a new question?
I would like that maybe you can just say briefly what are your current impacts that you work on to bring a new, better, let's say not maybe quality, but safety in the community.
Yeah, so some of the projects that I'm currently working on include working with the Beatbox House, the monthly events that they run. I've been helping them out with some of the safety concerns there. And by safety concerns, I mean just like helping run security and safety there, and consulting on ways to make that go better. I've been working obviously quite a bit with the Safe Space Discord team. Working on that team has been a really kind of great opportunity to hear and amplify the voices that are so often not heard from enough and not acted on enough. Now, there was what other I wanted to mention. Some of the stuff that I do in the beatbox world is work with the beatbox education platform. I run a loop station education program over there. So beatboxing and education is a huge part of what I do here as well. And for example, drafting and making templates of codes of conduct to help beatbox institutions have kind of written have written policies and procedures in place to define, identify, and respond to sexual harassment within the community. I think is a very important thing. So we have clear language and a base of understanding about what we define certain behavior as, how we respond to that behavior, and how we can keep those responses consistent with the kind of values that we as the beatbox community want to put forward, driving those actions.
Thank you. I must say it was worth waiting. It was worth waiting. We're happy that you're here.
I appreciate you guys so much having the patience today. Unfortunately, I'm having to travel between gigs, as I feel like I always do when I'm speaking with y'all. I'm like always in the car going somewhere since I'm so busy. But I really appreciate y'all being patient with that. And I'm so sorry it wasn't like the most ideal streaming conditions for me this morning.
Don't
there's
worry.
a recording job I'm going to go do.
No, we're really happy that you're with us. That's the most important. Maybe you could as well tell us your one good and one bad experience from the beatbox community.
Yeah, sure, sounds good. Well, fortunately enough, my good experiences are much more bountiful. So I certainly appreciate more than anything the community members that have been supportive during this whole process. You know, having vocal allies and people who are making sure that they use their platform to speak on these things. I've been able to see a few people do that, and it's been a very encouraging experience. You know, getting the chance to work especially with people on like the younger side, identifying like the fact that our community is getting younger and younger. There are more and more younger people joining us in the community, and being able to see so many of them with just this incredible passion and interest and devotion to the art form has been incredible. And when we see them, you know, showing in and showing up and buying into some of the kind of really important ideals that we have, it's a very encouraging thing, because they will have so much time with this community to build it into exactly the kind of place we want it to be, especially starting with so many younger people that get on board quickly. One thing I do kind of point out as a bad experience would certainly have been some of the kind of online toxicity that is, you know, plentiful, and we can see that stuff happening left and right. But I've been fortunate enough to be somewhat isolated or insulated rather from the kind of direct hate, because I don't make it as, I don't know, overwhelmingly obvious in my content, and I'm fortunate enough to be able to do that. I can kind of like pass as a normal beatboxer, or whatever that means, as in like a white male dude, that I don't make it necessarily entirely obvious in my performance that like I am part of the LGBTQ plus community, and approach beatboxing from a very different kind of worldview and mindset that maybe some other people do. So I've fortunately enough been able to be insulated a little bit from the direct hate, but it's certainly still frustrating to see. And I definitely feel for the people who are experiencing like all the creepy DMs and all that stuff. The in-person behavior that I saw, and some of the kind of conversations that I've been next to and I felt like I had to kind of step in on. It is important to kind of keep it all in the context of why we're here and what we're doing. So my bad experiences in the beatbox community are largely those of frustration and I think some immaturity, but around the people doing this work and around the like safe space and with the stream today, I think there's a lot that we can educate people on and bring us forward with.
That sounds pretty good. Amit, do you want to give your one positive and one negative?
Sure. But before I continue, I just want to give a little shout out. There's a link in the description for this video, this live stream, which is super important, guys. We have someone in our community who needs our help. We need to help this person. It's super important for all of us. If you're on the stream, 'tis the season of giving. Please, even if you can't donate, we get you. But try to help to share the link. Bring it, like throw it around everywhere you can. Share it around and help as much as you can. It's super important. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Amit.
No worries. One good experience. Okay, I'm gonna rewind. Woo! To First World Beatbox Camp. That was an amazing experience for me. I remember sitting in Alem's class in like this classroom full of beatboxers, and I was just like, wow. Like the contrast, because at that point of time I was studying, or I had just finished studying a diploma in business, which I really did not enjoy. And like it was just this amazing contrast that showed me that, you know, education in beatbox was possible and it can be so structured, because Alan was so prepared and he did it, he killed it, he really killed it in that masterclass. So that was one really, really good experience for me. One bad experience. Okay, so I have to say I feel quite privileged to not have had that many bad experiences myself, or not one that I can really pinpoint. But I would like to say that I have witnessed other people being subjected to discrimination or harassment, and that for me, it makes me sad. Just makes me sad, you know, like. And these are people I really care for, and to see them have to go through this nonsense, like, why? But anyway, we work and we try to eradicate this from our community, yeah, as much as possible.
Thank you. If I can, I would like to as well share my one positive and one negative. I must say that since I've joined the community, my life kind of turned up and down and was super intense, like a roller coaster. And when I got, let's call it, I got lost in my decision making, and I think it was just at the beginning, 2017. I really needed to like people who will lead me in my artwork direction, the right word, art direction, and that I could feel that what I'm doing is not worthless, if you know what I mean. Is that I found a community where my art would be seen as the art, as something that what I do will matter and can have an impact on other people. So that was my amazing positive, amongst of course others, like having the support of people from the community, where I for example, I moved to France. I left everything and I just left, and I had a lot of help from the people from the community. My negative, I think, could be actually I remember, I think this is something that I have missed a lot, is I remember when my showcase came online, and maybe it was not perfect. Well, I'm a human being, and I am well, we all have our good and bad days, even as an artist, especially. And the recording was okay. It was not the best showcase of my life, I must admit. But the comment section and the hate that poured on me was like super extreme. And what I lacked is the support from the community. Actually, that's what I lacked. And the comments, really creepy comments and really creepy DMs about that I do not, for example, deserve to call myself a singer or an artist. It can be hurtful. So I've been there, I felt that, and I must say that we all go through some, roads. So just to remember to respect each other, and we can all have a better or worse day, and just remember about that. Okay, so let's go to our main panel. I think what is really important, that we, since our subject of discussion this month is sexual harassment, I would like to ask you a question, and maybe first to answer, I would really like to be Rayo, because this is something that not everyone is aware of, and not everyone know how to do it, is how to actually approach a survivor. How is the best to talk to them and support them?
I think it really depends from which standpoint you come. Like as an organizer, you need to do that differently to like compared to like a normal beatboxer. Because like just like if you're like potentially the abuser, never be the person personally contacting the survivor. If you're someone that hurt from either side, only be the middleman if both people are okay with that. And just being like very like empathetic in like an understanding, because a lot of issues recently, not recently, in the past, had to do with like invalidation through the middleman of these situations. But as an organizer, I feel like it's actually easier to be like open about how you handle incident reports, to make it easier for the survivors to come to you when they are ready, because it has happened that like a survivor wasn't ready to talk about something and they were contacted by either their own like abuser or by like a organization that got wind of what happened to them, and that is not good for their mental health at all. So like, yeah, creating like a safe environment if you're like a beatboxer, not being the person personally reaching out if you're the potential abuser, and if your organization just having in your code of conduct, this is how we handle things, so you're safe. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Warlit, how would you maybe you could give us your opinion how you should approach a survivor? What's the best way to, talk to the person? How can we make it easier, encourage supporters to speak to the event organizers or community leaders?
I think one of the main things is never approach. I think this should be obvious, but I don't think a lot of people know this. Never approach a survivor with a speech that, even if subtle, you have kind of a mixed opinion about whether it's true or not. Like, if this really happened to you, no, like, believe that survivor, because they are already going through a lot on their own for still having to deal with the fact that maybe people are not 100% believing on such a bad thing that had to happen to them. So I think this should be one of the main things. Always being careful, sensitive, delicate. It's a delicate situation. Don't approach also using very triggering words. I would say go for euphemisms. Don't just throw the harsh words on this person, because that could trigger a lot of bad memories on them. And of course, actions speak louder than words. Galush is gone, but actions speak louder than words. So it won't have a point if you are supporting a survivor if you wouldn't, for example, call out someone that is going against that in any form. So like, your actions will actually tell more to the survivor if your support is genuine or not than your words. Like the way you treat other people, other potential past survivors, the way you call out or not people that say stuff that go against their beliefs in creating a safe space to people so they won't go through this again. So I think in general, always remember that words are not enough if your actions don't match it.
Thank you, Warlit. Amit.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Cool. I am going to tweak this question slightly in terms of, instead of approaching a survivor, I'm going to be talking about how to maybe approach someone you think might be in trouble. So this is before even anything happens or you suspect something might be happening. I believe, and if anyone at any point of time wants to correct me, please do so, because I will say right now, I'm not the most educated person about this, and you guys definitely know better. But I would say that it's very, very important to approach someone you might think is in trouble, even if you think that, maybe I'm just thinking too much. Like, just ask. Go and ask, are you in trouble? Do you need help? Yeah, or, if you want, maybe be subtle about it. Pull them away. If you think that you asking might cause even more trouble. Have maybe a sort of code word. And, like a system in order to help your friends as well. Like if you have a community of people, let's say, have a code system, like if I say I need a glass of water with 2 cubes of ice, that means I'm in trouble. So you go to your friend and you tell them this exact phrase and they know, okay, they need help. Or you can approach your friend in the other way, like, do you need 2 cubes of ice? And that way it can help someone get out of trouble really, really easily. Well, okay, not really easily, but it can prevent something really, really bad from happening. So do that. Really, really don't be afraid to step out. It's hard, but do it, because it can make such a big difference in someone's life. So yeah, that's my approach to talking to someone who you think might be in trouble. But in terms of Survivor, I think like Rayo and Warlord were right on point in terms of approaching them with a very open mind. Like go with the mindset that I'm gonna believe this, but this person has been through a lot, and they need a support system. That's what they're looking for right now. So that's what you need to provide for them at that point of time. That's what I would say. Yeah, that's it for me.
I wanted to ask you guys, what do you think about, because we speak about from the perspective of a survivor, I mean, how to best to speak to survivor, but we as individuals, what do you think we could do? How to encourage other people to be willing to help, to not stand and ignore that something is happening? Because I think this is as well something, another totally different matter and different subject, is that sometimes, correct me if I'm wrong, but sometimes a survivor would need, as I said, would need like help, external help. And really often, like, people try, oh, I don't see anything, nothing is happening. How to encourage people around us to be more willing to act and to help. Rose.
Lead by example, show people the actions that they need to be doing by doing it yourself. Be the change you want to see. Like, if you need to actually talk to someone and explain to them, like, you could be more sensitive with people, you're making someone uncomfortable. That's a conversation to have with your friends. As awkward as it may be for you, it can stop something bad from happening in the future. Just being straightforward, saying, this is a very sensitive situation, people need to feel comfortable, like they're supported. And the only way anyone's ever going to feel comfortable is if they see them supporting others. So many people don't speak up because it's just like ignored. Like, I don't see it. Didn't happen. We need to stop doing that. As uncomfortable as it is, we need to stop doing that. We need to stop ignoring our friends when they're making people uncomfortable. We need to stop ignoring strangers, get involved, get between people, make it an uncomfortable situation, but so what? So what? It could be so much worse.
Galush, what are your ideas? Would you like to share?
Yeah, I think one of the big things is going to be educating people, and especially educating people who might not want to hear what you have to say. One of the things I would be concerned about is alienating a lot of potential very supportive people because they're not really educated and clear and on the same page with what you're actually talking about. Oftentimes there's a good deal of hesitancy to step in situations like this because there's a kind of lack of clarity about what the norms are and what the expectations are. Event organizers who name the expectations in their events frequently and consistently can can do a lot to kind of ease that fear that prevents people from speaking up. It also has to show up for us in these kinds of situations, in these kinds of conversations today, is not alienating the people who might be on the fence about this whole thing, like not really know what's going on. Like maybe it's like people being, I don't know, oversensitive for some reason, or like having a PC, I don't know, feminist thing come in that's all like you got to do this and that, and like you're wrong, and it can feel very accusatory. People will get defensive kind of naturally, right? But if we can educate people that the work that we are doing is not one that should make you feel like you're about to get canceled, or make you feel like you're going to be in trouble and kind of admonished or whatever for bad behavior, right? The point here is educating people, right? The goal of these kinds of communications, the reason that they're being held for a public audience and for for our community to hear and to learn from, is exactly that, right? Our goal is to help people learn how to be a good member of our community, and speaking up on these issues with the clear expectation that we are educating people and to not be coming after them, right? We can avoid a ton of the concerns by getting people assured that their role in this is to be an active listener and to put aside for a moment the understandable kind of rational human fears around these kinds of conversations ending up getting people who are totally just kind of like there and not causing the issue in trouble. So for those of you guys who are on the fence about this, like not really sure what's going on, but like would be open enough and curious enough to kind of learn a little bit, having the humility to admit that there's a gap in knowledge and expertise can go a long way, right? And I know it's all like it's a lot that we're asking of you, but at the same time, it's not that much, right? We're just asking for like the humility to sit and listen and to be open to hearing new perspectives on things. And that's challenging for people when they're not used to being told that they are in need of some learning on stuff. It can be easy to get defensive. It can be a much harder and more courageous thing, but ultimately better for our whole community, for the people who are listening to this stream, for the people who are interested in helping out, to admit that they might be blind to certain things. So that's really the main thing, is adjusting the attitude going into it for how we're approaching these kinds of conversations.
So both attitude and education.
To put it quickly, yeah.
So thank you so much. I would like to say, because there was a question about what are the actual steps that you're planning to take in order to make the beatbox community safe. And as this is a really, we want to, and we do see it as not a short-term situation to be resolved. We want that it lasts. So if we make a change, that is going to be it's going to be a change that is going to have an impact on all the future events, not only offline, so in, let's call it a real life, but as well online. And what we're doing right now together with, for example, BEATBOX Safe Space, and as well SBX Education, we're gonna be working on, and we are actually working on the code of conduct that is in the process. We will be working on the best way how to approach the survivor and educating people, how to educate your friends. So there will be some educational workshops happening. There will be some videos and instructions to follow. As well, we're planning on live events, have a special people that will be just focused on this matter only. So right now, for example, on the GBB, we had the security, a lot of amount of security being on the event inside and outside, but we want to have, of course, the security that will be gathered and holding the security inside, but separate people as well, just focus on the safe space matter and that you will be known. They will be, for example, wearing special t-shirts. They will be really easy accessible, and being able to see them if you need to see them from long distance. You know where to go. There will be posters and announcements from the stage, and the conversation will continue. I am not able to give you all the resolutions right now, because that's the problem, or not a problem. I think this is like kind of beautiful that we want to work on that, and we will work on that and bring the updates on and not stopping until it brings the resolution that it has to bring, which is safe community. That you won't be afraid to come to the event. You won't be afraid to go and chill with your friends, and you won't be afraid to go and meet new people, because this is as well something, you know, you go to the event and you don't know to whom to trust, because you don't know a lot of people that will be on the event itself. But since we're speaking about that, I would like to ask you guys as well in comments. And in the after I ask our guests today, I would like to read some comments. What if, and if ever, stopped you from coming to any live event, beatbox live event in the world? Warlet.
I unfortunately, when I started beatboxing, it was just 1 year before COVID. So I got to experience just a few live events. I went to Canadian Champs 2019, and I also went to some smaller events in Brazil. I did not come to some of these battles happening in Brazil because I was being super attacked by some people from Brazilian beatbox community. Not the ones from the team. They are great and they're super supportive. But people that come to battle, like the beatboxers, some beatboxers, they used to attack me a lot, which is something I always like to bring up. It's like I was a beginner, and the way I was treated for not being good enough, of course, because I was a beginner, it's not the way people treat a beginner boy beatboxer. Like, they're gonna think, oh, he's not good yet, but it's because he's practicing, he's developing, he's a beginner, he's gonna get better. It's not what happened to me. I was boots and catsing, and they were like, she's shouldn't boots and cats, and I was like, I just started. What? You know? And so I think mainly it was the attack I received. I went through a lot of sexualization on the beatboxing, but it mainly happened online to me. And also this, I just want to point out something important that has, of course, it's related to this, but that I did want to say before and I didn't. It's important to always remember that not just the big issues, the visible ones, gonna be the main problem that is making women or non-binary people, anybody, uncomfortable in the community. Because I think some people think they are absolutely not related to this because they didn't do something as bad as what we see as super bad. But that doesn't mean you as a beatboxer in the scene didn't make women uncomfortable. I think this is also time for some self-reflection from some people, because I think a lot of people, I think they are super out of this, and they are not, and they need to think about their own actions towards people in the community. This is all. I really wanted to say this, but yeah, I finished.
Thank you. Rose.
There's been local events that I didn't go to because a person that attacked me online was going to be there and did not feel comfortable being around them at all. There's been larger events that I didn't attend because there was people that I know to be unsafe that were going to be there, and it's like a double thing. Like I don't want to be somewhere where I know someone unsafe is going to be, because automatically it makes me feel unsafe, and then I'm overprotective of the other women at the scene in that situation. And then the other side of it is I don't want to financially support something that's not like hearing my concern. So those are two like specific reasons that I haven't gone to events.
What about you, Rayo?
I mean, I'm pretty new, so there haven't been a lot of events recently, other than like very local ones, and like most international events were online. But I did not go to like several events because, I mean, the minorities, like I said, in the space, they talk to each other. We know if someone has shown unsafe behavior towards women or non-binary people or queer people, and that, like, when I know, like, oh yeah, this person is gonna be there and this person is gonna be there, that makes me make that the decision to not go there. As well as, like, if you don't make a lot of money, you also have to like think about that, like, does it make sense to spend my money on an event where someone unsafe is like attending as well? Like, am I spending money on something that potentially will like make me like experience something bad? Like there's always that chance. So yeah, of course, like we talk to each other and we know, like, oh yeah, this person has some creepy behavior, or this person has been like really bad in the past, and that made me not want to go to some events. Yeah.
So do you think that, for example, knowing that you, for example, have some, how to say it, you are not willing to come due to some people attending the event, do you think there should be some kind of a either an open line or open email where you can either ask how the things stand, or I don't know, just say your opinion, that you feel heard as well?
Yeah, like I mean, we had like several talks already, like behind the scenes, of like a hotline, for example. That would be really helpful, to be like, okay, I can go there even though this person is there and I can feel safe. And like having like you're already like plan on doing, like having like safe people, like with shirts and everything, like stuff like that makes me much more likely to like attend an event, because I know, oh, if something is like close to happening, I can like get help.
Yeah. So, but my question was as well, because of course we can have some support, and that's what we spoke about, to have some team hotlines on the spot, but so that you actually come and you will feel somehow reassured. Do you think, guys, I'm just a question as you to, and people to the comments as well, would you make you feel more safe that, for example, there is, I don't know, a team for each organizer, right? We're not speaking only, for example, just about Swissbeatbox. Let's go wider. That each organizer has a special line to contact, email, where it's going to be only about the event, and you can, for example, ask what measures will be taken, or will this happen, or speak about your concerns. Would you make you feel more safe? And be more willing to join the event that you're afraid to come?
Absolutely. I mean, I can only like speak from a perspective of BEATBOX Safe Space. We have talked to a lot of organizers about exactly something like that. So there's like a actual conversation happening. Yeah, that would make, I feel like myself, it would make me feel more safe, but I know a lot of other people that would have a good impact. Yeah, definitely.
Amazing. So if anyone from the organizers as well are watching this, I think this is super important that we can all have a look into that, to have a way of communication with the community, with the audience, with viewers, however we name it, but with the people, to start a conversation and to be able to actually respond to the emails. Sometimes, it's going to be a lot of emails, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it for the community. We need to find a way. Galush.
Yeah, if I could just hop in real quick, just to remind people, for example, that there are written documents, templates that are available to help support organizers with their kind of educating their specific community on their procedures and policies and whatnot. There are written documents available to be shared and communicated about. Right, these are some of the resources that we have been developing in the background to help support with. But there's more information about that can be found. If you're an event organizer, definitely be looking into those kinds of things, obviously, as you probably already are and should be. I also wanted to kind of say that the live events where the organizers are kind of consistently and kind of not just around their event, but within their respective community, working on the root causes to the safety concerns that would happen at a live event. There's kind of like this sphere of influence, right? Like where there's where communities are responsible for educating on and kind of upholding these values before the live event even happens, that lead to more harassment and kind of a culture where that's accepted, right? So much of the stuff that results in harassment are things that can be worked on preventatively beforehand, before you even get to the event, right? Kind of establishing the norms of rejecting misogynist kind of cultural things that happen, especially in the beatbox community, right? So educating on the stuff that kind of all kind of combine over the kind of all the different layers of other kind of cultural things, right? The the preventative work is about kind of naming and expecting and upholding a culture. The reactive work of being at events and responding to harassment and responding to unsafe situations in the moment is going to be kind of one area, but it's not the kind of complete package, right? The preventative measures and the responsive measures that happen at events are great and need to be happening, but they're kind of a treating of a symptom. The root cause of the issue is much more so the culture that allows for people. Sorry, hang on, the sun just came out, so I'm really bright. The root cause for those behaviors that people are made unsafe by is the kind of culture that allows for those sorts of attitudes and mindsets and kind of blind spots or ways people are ignorant of certain things that allows those to happen. So a lot of the job of the organizers to make their events safe is to help address the culture that their events are going to be reflecting the whole year before the event happens, right? Like all the other time before you're actually throwing the event over the weekend or whatever it is that you're doing, all the other time that you're setting cultural expectations beforehand for what the behavior can be, is also part of making your event safe, making your culture one that is not tolerant of racism and misogyny and all those things, homophobia, especially, all those things, is part of safe event planning.
I totally agree, and thank you so much. I think, as you mentioned, going to the roots is gonna only help, not only, but it's gonna so much help to bring the safety, bigger safety to the events. Not only, as you said, curing the symptom, just going directly to the roots. So I just wanted to come quickly to the comment. Someone like Nad asked, it's cool that you're gonna have people especially for that, but it would be cool to know how they're gonna handle those situations. So that's why there will be a code of conduct available. You will not have to ask for it. It's gonna be publicly shared. You will be able to go. There will be a visible link, visible article where you're gonna go and see, and both artists and not only artists, but public audience fans, they will be able to see how the code of conduct looks like. So there is a transparency, and there will not be a separate code of conduct for, I don't know, audience or artist. There will be one code of conduct and one regulation and one rules that will apply to every participant of the event. So I would like to ask, we're just going, I'm looking at the time, but we are good.
I wanted to say something. Sorry.
Sure.
Just because Galush mentioned just now talking about how you can go and get yourself educated. You know, what are the online resources and templates that you can go and find for organizations and for individuals to go and find out more about this, you know, besides just us like looking at professional organizations. So I think this is a great segue into asking about like any resources that you guys might want to suggest, you know, on your side, you know, where do you look for your education materials on these topics?
Can I?
Ray? Yeah, go
Okay.
for it.
I mean the main two. I mean, I know that you've already like worked with like Take Back the Night, and another good resource is definitely RAIN with 2N. That's an American organization that talks about sexual harassment and sexual assault statistics and preventative measures and all of that stuff a lot. That's a great place to get more educated. Yeah, those were the two. Would be the two that I would be recommending.
Perfect. I just have one thing I want to add because there is a comment from Karaoke Forever. I have a question. Please don't take this in a wrong way. How will talking about this online help the community making the event safe? Do you think the people who do the crime gonna watch this and change? So I think this is like a really good comment that many people think that speaking about it, it won't change. That being silent is gonna just, you know, and it's gonna solve itself, and we're gonna go to the pink castle, unicorns and everything. Yay! I think what is really important that when you speak about it, even if people who do the bad things do not watch it, people who may be affected by it are watching it now, or people who will be able to help you in the future, they are watching it now. And then when you will be, or someone will be in need of help, there you will know what to do. Then organizers will as well know how to react. Your friends and you will know how to react and how to help. So this is just the beginning. And we know, I mean, I think I can say we know that not everyone is watching. We know that a lot of people just don't think they have to watch, and that they don't care. That's the truth. But as long as there are people who cares about the change and making the community a safer place, the change will come. I think you can guys agree on that, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like it creates awareness, and awareness is important to even start the thought process on it for many people. So yeah.
Exactly. Amit?
Yeah, just expanding on what Ray said, you have to recognize that there's also a lot of people who are on the fence about this topic. There are people, abusers, there are survivors, and there are a lot of people on the fence in the middle. And having these kind of topics of conversation really helps to put the message out to these people on the fence to help them like educate themselves. And so that way we'll have more people who would be able to help in the future for this movement. I saw Wallet's finger up.
Yeah, I also, just to bring another perspective, I absolutely agree with everything you guys said, that it's important because maybe if the abusers in the case, the people that do bad stuff, if they're not watching, at least it's helping to make people that went or could go through this to feel more comfortable. But I also believe that this conversation is important, not just for survivors, not just for potential victims, but for these people that do the bad stuff. Because here's the thing, usually someone able to do something bad has narcissistic tendencies in a sense. They are scared for themselves. The moment people start calling them out publicly and saying, no, we're not going to accept your behavior, they will change, not because they feel empathy for the survivors, but because they start to get scared for themselves. So the change happens. because of them too, you know?
Matt,
I spoke about this earlier on. Go ahead.
it's okay. Matt Speed said something that like puts what Waller just said in short. It's not about changing all the bad people. It's about changing the culture that enables those bad people. I thought that was very fitting.
And honestly, somebody that's going to do something doesn't have to be the one watching this, like it's been mentioned, because other people are going to be talking about it that watched it, and they will hear, and just that will put them in the awareness that people are watching, and knowing that they're being watched makes them less likely to do something.
And I just wanted to add something because I've noticed it a lot in the comments. I mean, not now, in general, that people are already, frustrated about that we speak about it. We want people to be aware, and we go with the subject further and further. And they want just beatbox, and they want just to see the content, and and we just want to see routines. Guys, we all here love beatboxing. Beatboxing is, we dedicated our lives to it. And the fact that we are speaking about it is that we care, and we do not want it to fall apart. And what we're doing right now is that we bring beatbox even to the higher level, where more people can come and more people can enjoy this beautiful art form. And I really encourage everyone right now to just support this, what we're doing, because I promise, when this will move in the right direction and we will all go in this together, we will be so much more enjoying, everyone so much more enjoying what we're going to be see either on the screen, on the live events in person, chilling, jamming. This is just for this. It's not for just creating the safe space. It's just that we in the community will just enjoying beatboxing even more. Right.
Yeah, like a big part of why it needs to be talked about is, for us, we would like, for minorities in the scene, we would love for this to be just beatbox, but for us it's beatbox and some form of discrimination on top of it. If that was gone for us, it would also just be just beatbox. That's why it needs to be talked about. Like, if you don't talk about it, it stays like bad for the minorities in the scene, and nobody wants that, right?
Yeah, I mean, if I could just say something that I kind of put on Instagram earlier on, actually, is that the only hesitation that I see from people to be like, oh, let's not talk about this, let's just go back to beatboxing, because that's all we really are here for. Like, don't forget where beatboxing comes from. We're, as an entire community, we are the experts at using our voice in the most powerful ways that people have ever done it. And to suggest that certain conversations should not be happening because of like they're I don't know, being PC or whatever. Like that's such an ignorance. That's such an ignorant way of thinking, especially as a beatboxer whose entire culture is based around giving marginalized people voice in their humanity and an artistic form of self-expression, based on like the power of the voice, right? And when people are speaking up and they're getting like, shouted down from their really important advocacy work by people who say they're part of the beatbox community, it really is only ever done by people who feel threatened in their point of privilege. Like it really only, that is only ever said by people who feel a threat to their status as like the default norm, like the default character in a video game you can pick from, right? Like it's always like what I'm saying is that the people who are concerned about us having this conversation are exactly the people who should really take a second here and pause and reflect on why they feel like they can chime in a space that is using our voices to point out problems in exactly the way that beatboxing has always been about. Beatboxing having come from hip hop with a culture of lack of like a need for stuff, beatboxing is a solution and is a kind of culturally embedded practice of using our voice to speak up about shit that has to be done authentically, right? Like, we need to understand that we're not ever going to be quiet about stuff like this. Like, beatboxing is currently, always has been, and always will be a very political culture act. Like, it's always been a practice. It has always been rooted in that practice of uplifting marginalized voices, and we are continuing that, and we will continue to do that. And if that is causing concern for you, really take a second to reflect on why that is, and what part you play in the beatbox community where you feel like that shouldn't be the case, or you feel like defensive of your point of your place of privilege within the community. That's really what I had to say about that. But just kind of regarding the kind of previous conversations about what event organizers can be doing and what we can be doing otherwise, like, I know we have more questions to get to, actually, so I think we'll leave it there for now.
Thank you. Warlit, come on.
Thank you. I won't add a lot to it. I know we need to move on, but I just want to say, for example, while I was, of course, I'm with the stream open, okay, and while we were having this discussion, I saw similar things too. This gonna ruin beatbox community, and I just want to bring a new perspective to these people. I'm a beatboxer that is currently trying to, like, I send wildcards to all battles. I try to be super present in the battle scene. You know how beatbox is something comfortable and fun to you? It was never that to me, and it's all I ever wanted it to be, because I think it's something cool to do. I love beatboxing, but I never felt comfortable. I never felt welcomed. Of course, I felt welcomed by my minority of people that welcomed me really well, 100%. But the amount of people like making me feel bad for literally being a woman, like, I am sorry, like I swear sometimes I feel bad, like I have to apologize for being a woman. And it's like, if you think this is gonna destroy beatbox community and that we should just beatbox, it's because you don't have the empathy to realize that for majority of people, because this minorities are majority, okay, it's a very specific group of people that will feel comfortable in beatbox community. And if you don't want this change to happen, for these people to feel welcomed, is because you are not able to feel this empathy for other people, and you cannot understand that it should be comfortable for everybody, not just for you. You know, that's it.
Yeah, I feel like it's like not like in people's brains enough that like beatbox is part of hip hop, and a central part of hip hop is social justice, so and social equality. And yeah, like what you practice with beatbox is also like community care, like coming together to make beatbox, to cipher. That is like community care in itself is an act of like social equality, because everyone in the cipher is equal. I just wanted to add that.
Oh, guys, I have an impression that this conversation could go infinitely, because we have so many subjects to discuss. We have so many experience to share and so many thoughts how to improve. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but that was a really nice beginning of a conversation. And I just would like to remind you guys that if you still have questions, because there are places where you can educate yourself, as we have mentioned, Take Back the Night, or for example, Rain. You can always go educate yourself. We will be trying together my English. Oh, brain damage.
Cooperatively.
Cooperatively. Lily. Sorry. We will try together to work on the best solutions that will apply to our community. We will be there together, I hope, to build what will be the best for us to be welcomed, be beatboxers, beatbox everywhere, and not to feel bad in the community, and be super open to regardless the level, regardless who you are, your gender, your you will come and you will beatbox and you will feel good. Speaking of the beatbox, they know, and I would like to ask, because since we're speaking about the beatboxing, I would like to ask if some of our guests here would like to drop some beat. I know who wants. It's smiling, and it is Worlet, I guess.
I was waiting to see if Galush would say something, or Amit. You guys, if you guys want to go first, it's okay.
It's all you.
Okay, but
The stage is yours. I would say beatbox.
Okay then, 3, 2, 1, etc. Freestyle or something.
I want to say that I am glad it is too early over here for me to be making that amount of noise, because I do not want to follow that. Have fun with that, Galush.
That was awesome.
No, I was like, okay, yeah, maybe I'm not. Okay, Galush, can you go? Galush.
Your mic is cutting out.
Wait, Galush, because we're not
Messed up?
experiencing.
Fuck,
We're not experiencing everything. Can you just maybe switch
Zoom.
your Zoom to cancel the noise?
No, I'm on my phone. I've been trying. It doesn't have the settings.
Original sound. No. Oh no.
Damn, that's too bad.
I could imagine what you were doing though, and that was sick.
I can tell you it definitely sounded good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's too bad. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh God, I wish so much that didn't happen. Okay, Amit.
Sure. I guess I'll do a little routine. Don't let me get in my zone. Dong dong dang dang. Dong dong dang 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 dang. Dong dong dang dang. Dong dong dang dang dang. Don't let me get in my don't pet me. Don't pet me. let me get in my. Don't let me in my. Don't let me in my. Don't let me in the. Don't let me in my. Oh shit! I'm in the zone. Don't let me in my.
That's
so good.
Thank you. But honestly, that was hard to follow after Wallet. Like, yo, that was crazy.
Yeah, she should have went last. That wasn't fair.
Yeah.
I was like, I just wanted to say that I thought that I'm gonna beatbox, but sorry, like no.
No, go. Hands up in the chat if you want Juliana to beatbox.
I'm sorry. Oh my god, I'm echo.
Let's go.
I see echo. I hear echo. Where do I hear echo?
What?
Oh god. Oh my god. Okay, I just want to say, I was like, please just do not please have a respect for me later on.
You got this.
I'm sorry. It's gonna be really fast. Okay, not that fast, but it's gonna be really, really basic. I'm not.
We got you.
My boyfriend, when
the
he
whole
comes
chat
back,
the whole chat is cheering you on.
yeah, I seen moderators like, yeah, go.
You can do it.
Oh. And that's all I can do is.
Hey.
That's all that I can do is. That's all that I can do. Hey.
Sick.
Oh my god.
I gotta say that's a massive improvement from the last time I heard you. So
goodbye my fame. Goodbye my career.
Lawful. Everything you say is like is. Amit.
Echo.
let's go.
It's your fault, Amit.
Right.
You're messing up the audio.
But it's okay, guys. At the end, I would like to say massive thank you for all of you joining. I want to say that this was super amazing, and there's one more thing we will be working on, and we would be inviting all of you guys to do. It's a new movement that we're trying to do in the community, and I'm sorry for my dog. I can't help it. He's just having some fun with the other doggo. But there will be a new movement that we would like to launch just before Christmas. Is the spread the good vibe and spread the good vibe in the beat challenge. I'm gonna call it that way, and it's gonna be a challenge on our stories that we would like that you tag a person that you want to send a good vibe to, and then as well, just before Christmas, share some goodwill. If you, for example, cannot donate, you just put in your story a link to the fundraiser that you want to support, and then with this, you just drop the beat. For example, I say, hey Amit, boots and cats, I'm sending you some really good positive energy, and I am right now challenging you to beat back to other beatboxer and invite him to share his or hers or theirs fundraiser, and then go and donate, share the love. Peace. and my dog just saying, "Yeah, let's go and do
Your
this."
dog's beatboxing. I love it.
My
Getting
dog
in
is
on it.
beatboxing. No, my dog is like, "Let's go, let's go and do
He's going
it
hard.
right now."
Yeah, that's a sick beat, puppy.
Puppy. So please look into our social media. I'm sorry. Please go to our social media and follow. I just lost everything. Go to our social media. There will be soon story. We will be tagging the right profiles, right people. And again, I wanted to thank our moderators. I wanted to thank Hideful. I wanted to thank our guests. Again, big ups to Galush. I don't know, he's gone, but I know he's with us. Warlit, Rayo, Rose, Amit, and all of you guys in the chat. Thank you so much for joining and being. Have a safe Sunday.
Peace. Love everyone.